With her thoughts, senior news producer for the Daily Signal and visiting fellow with the Independent Women's Forum, Kelsey Harkness. Kelsey, how are you this morning?
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You guys both went with pink today.
Yeah,
Speaking of fashion, you guys went with that today, and I went with a little purple to jump off there. So what's with this media double standard?
Well, you're right. There is such a double standard when it comes to covering First Lady Melania Trump and former First Lady Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama, of course, can do no wrong, whereas Melania Trump appears to do everything wrong. It's like the media is waiting for her to take a misstep. And this latest example where Melania Trump was getting off a plane after visiting a war zone in Iraq, which Michelle Obama never did, by the way, I couldn't help but just laugh at it, because the press couldn't seem to figure out what was going on with these tan leather pants. These fashion editors at Vanity Fair launched some sort of investigation into them, and it's like fashion editors have never seen tan leather pants before. I think the real injustice here, though, is that Melania Trump can deal with the mocking of her clothes and her outfits. I mean, she's beautiful. She can handle that. The real injustice is the press's attention on what she's wearing rather than what she does. Melania Trump is working for so many important causes, fighting the opioid crisis, helping children, and the press just ignores that, instead focusing on what she's wearing instead.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I was not a big fan of the tan pants, just because when you photograph it, it did look like she wasn't wearing pants at some point.
Would be certainly a fashion choice,
yeah,
but that would be a surprise.
Fashion statement. But that said, I mean, it's been 2 years, and other than that, I think it's been pretty impeccable in terms of her choice of pants. But there was another moment which I want to get your opinion on, because I thought it was fascinating. She went to Camp David and she wore a comfy dress, a black comfy dress, and I think flats. I mean, all women do that at some point, especially if we're going to Camp David, right? And they said, I'm going to tell you what they said, because I thought it was fascinating. The Guardian said that this wasn't her glamazon fembot princess perfect style, and they actually attributed it as some sort of a resistance movement towards her husband, like she was angry at him, and so she decided to wear this comfy dress, sort of like the slapping the hand thing. They would never do this to Michelle Obama, would they?
It's amazing that the media draws so many conclusions based on what Melania Trump wears. I think, again, we need to listen to what Melania Trump says and watch what she's doing, rather than drawing these insane conclusions that she's sending some sort of message through her clothing. Melania Trump is doing a great job representing the United States, both home and abroad. She has really a thankless job, and she's doing it so gracefully. Look, she doesn't maybe need the magazine covers because she is so beautiful, but I think she does need and deserve attention to the work that she's actually doing on behalf of children, and again, the opioid crisis, which is so important.
Kelsey, you mentioned something right there which is interesting. The magazine covers. She had been on tons of covers beforehand because she was a supermodel. And since she's been the First Lady, I think she's been on one?
In Mexico. It was Vanity Fair, Mexico.
Meanwhile, Michelle Obama was on dozens, I believe. Is this just really another example of anything President Trump does that people are going to go after? I mean, anything that he has anything to do with?
Why are they afraid of putting her on a cover? I mean...
Well, because I think is it just anti-Trump bias? Is that what that is?
I think it's a lot of anti-Trump bias. I mean, fashion designers won't even dress her. But look, Melania Trump doesn't need magazine covers. What bothers me is that when Melania Trump steps forward and defends herself and defends her record, the media mocks her as if she's complaining about the type of coverage that she gets. Whereas if it's a woman on the left who steps up and defends themselves, that's called feminism. That's called standing up for yourself and being a strong, independent woman. Such a double standard.
Yeah, Kelsey, you bring up a great point. I think all these attacks are meant to bring her down. I think they're making her stronger. She seems more confident and more willing to get out there. Maybe it's backfiring. Well, thanks a lot for your opinions and for your thoughts on this, I think, important topic. So thank you, Kelsey, and Happy New Year.
And great fashion choice for the two of you.
Yeah, thanks. We're working it too here.